friend. Thank you very much. A very good, warm evening to all of you. Uh, these words called artificial intelligence and technology, innovations. I don't know how many of you would have seen the banking in the previous century, later part of the previous century. The banking used to be a brick and mortar banking. Even if you want to know balance in your account, you want to draw cash, any banking service, you had to come all the way to the bank. But gradually, we have seen that many of the banking services have gradually moved out of the brick and mortar premises. They are in the premises of banks, but not brick and mortar. They are in the mobile app or internet facility. And this trend is continuing. I think, as very correctly said, the innovations are primarily driven by the necessity. So if you are living in Bombay, you can well appreciate, number one, traffic. Number two, crowded cities. And number three, aging population around you. And fourth, and very important, sustainability. So down the time, what I see is this AI, agentic AI, is going to do is to find some solutions to these problems. So why people preferred premises of banks outside the brick and mortar was, number one, distance to be traveled, and number two, convenience of the time of transaction. I would like to check my balance, say at midnight, but at that time, brick and mortar premises is not available. No services are available. Same way, for knowing balance in my account, if I have to travel in traffic, I have to spend money as well as time on that. So these were the necessities which finally resulted in some kind of ATMs, internet banking, mobile banking, then business correspondence, doorstep banking, and so many other things like that. Friends, down the time, what we visualize sitting in banking environment is, yes, banking services will be required. You cannot go beyond banking services in any economy. But you may not need brick and mortar premises. And perhaps coming to brick and mortar premises will be much costly affair for you than even now. Even now also, some banks are levying charges if you go to their brick and mortar places and take some banking services. And then you need banking services 24 hours. Even now also, if you look at, for originating the loans, banks are spending money. They are having feet on street, or they are going to the dealers of vehicles or the real estate to get some business, and they are paying some hefty amount to them also. But just visualize, if there is something automatically done, the moment you make an inquiry for purchasing a vehicle, and the next moment automatically a loan sanction is in your hand. I think this is yet to happen in reality, though many things are in place, but still many things are yet to come. So down the line, with the framework Free AI introduced or brought by Reserve Bank of India report, I think if you have a look at that, that also reflects how soon things are going to change. If we have a framework from the regulator now, it means banks are in readiness to go with a greater speed on these products. Let us not forget a DPDP Act, which is going to be introduced. Rules are coming very soon. And DPDP rules coupled with AI, we need to be very, very careful because the penal clauses are really very significant. So banking down the line, compliance cost definitely will be much higher. The consent manager's role, data manager's role, all these things are going to get more empowered and visibility. The kind of services in banks still which we are getting are not customized. They are most or less, you have multiple products, you can choose one of them. But down the line, what you're going to have is customized banking service. So for example, now maybe many of you must be receiving SMS messages from banks for eKYC. Right now there is, this campaign is going on for eKYC. You would have forgotten some accounts, which you opened some time and you have not submitted KYC papers later. But the thing is, all they need is your identification confirmation that you still are there, and those identification documents, OVDs, still continue to be valid. Just imagine your Aadhaar number, your passport, or your PAN card is being used somewhere else in the ecosystem, not necessarily in the banking. For example, you're filing your income tax return. So PAN card is being used. But as of now, there is no system to capture it from there. That yes, this particular person who is having this PAN card is really still there and he is active. So down the line, can we imagine that the ecosystem will be so integrated that things keep on updating themselves on regular basis? The moment death certificate is issued, it goes to all the players in the ecosystem. Just imagine this. I think what artificial intelligence is going to do in near future is that kind of vision, like it's going to happen. If you are undergoing a treatment of some terminal disease, thereafter if you approach for some kind of loan, maybe banks will know, they will come to know that you are struggling to survive. So down the line, friends, ecosystem is going to be much, much stronger, and banks need to be alert to this reality. Spending on IT, AI, agentic AI is going to be very high, and it has to be. And in our country, the beauty is, friends, unlike the European countries, some people are at the lowest point as far as tech savviness is concerned. Some people are highly tech savvy. Similarly, in banks also, some banks are in a very advanced stage of technology, use of technology, whereas some banks are at a very lower end. So the question is, what happens to this kind of disparity which we are witnessing in our society? This is also a question mark, which I think bankers sitting here or the tech firms who are sitting here, they have to look at this kind of disparity. Still, the aging population, which will be very substantial in number, they will need banking services. Their requirements will be different. They will need highly customized or individual banking services. So perhaps the agentic AI will give an opportunity to develop those facilities for those kind of, the part of the society who may not be satisfied with the already products available on the shelf in the banks. So these are the few things, which we visualize looking at the banking industry. And, banking is nothing but experience, experiments, and then innovation, like any other industry. If we miss out any of these steps, Perhaps what happened to Kodak is known to everybody. So if we have to survive, if we have to keep ourselves relevant, we need to update ourselves with the developments taking in place in the field of technology, in the field of regulations, compliance, and above all, we have to be vigilant to see what is happening around us and what are the needs of the people. Perhaps the time will be very soon off for the shelf, readily available on the shelf products. People will need their products as per their choice. Sometimes, we give very rude examples. So I tell my friends at times, time has come when people will ask, do you want batura to be served with sambar? No, if you say, no, sir, this is not a combination, it's not going to help you. We have to be in readiness to provide the services which the customer needs, customer wants. Of course, compliance levels are to be there, but at the same time, the need of the customer is going to be the most important part in our industry. Banking with fintechs, companies, IT companies. Going forward, we can say we are a fintech giving banking services, or we say we are banks using fintechs to give services. Choice is with us, but the survival is repeatedly very, very challenging at the moment. And any laxity on the part of bankers or the banking industry to, not to keep up with the emerging trends will be very costly affair. I really don't remember during last 2, 3, 4 years time whether I have visited my bank for any banking service. I visited twice just to get statement of account duly signed with the rubber stamp for the purpose of visa. And that too for European countries. So you can see where we are standing, as far as technology is concerned, especially in banking sector. We are far ahead. Look at UPI transactions. And perhaps there is a need to further development, much scope for all of you, those who are in technology field, to come with new ideas of providing open banking, to provide products as per the requirements, and that too 24/7, 365 days, with the same efficiency and the same level of customer service satisfaction. So to my mind, and the way things are moving, we see from sitting in Indian Banks Association, where we have standing committees to deliberate on all domains of banking, including technology, payment systems. These are the subjects which are being deliberated in depth, and industry is keenly taking interest in this. That is really a lovely scene to see. Having seen those days when we were doing banking manually, and I still remember in a rural branch when first time I saw a printer with a printing paper coming out. Printer, like the calculator with a printing facility. I don't know whether it is available still or not. Methodex, that time they introduced. So we were so happy to see it. You can jot down the balances, it will take total and give you can paste it on your ledger books. But today, those things who are not seen, you would have not seen all those things. But that was a banking. And the way things are changing, the speed is beyond our imagination. Maybe next year when you meet again on this forum, you will have advanced much more on agentic AI or some electronic products giving banking services. So with this, I convey all my good wishes to all the participants, to the arrangers, to Economic Times, for arranging such kind of summits where we all come together and we discuss, deliberate on these subjects. This really gives us awareness how things are moving, how we are supposed to catch up with them, and what are the challenges and what are the opportunities in the market. Once again, very good evening to all of you, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk to so many bankers and IT company people here. Thank you, friends.